Can a single fruit reshape the fate of an entire nation? In Burkina Faso, leaders are wagering everything that it can, and their chosen champion is the humble mango.
But this is more than an economic gamble. It is a daring experiment. Can mangoes create jobs for restless youth, uplift rural incomes, heal the land, and unite a country once divided by hardship? The answer could mean more than just fruit on the table. It could spark a renaissance of pride and purpose in every corner of Burkina Faso. At the heart of this movement stands President Ibrahim Traoray. For him, agriculture is not merely about sustenance. It is the backbone of Burkina Faso's sovereignty and survival. And no crop embodies this promise more than the mango. While others may chase gold or cotton, Traoray is planting his hopes in the future of mangoes, believing they hold the key to national transformation. From bustling cities to quiet villages, a sweeping new vision is blossoming. The government has launched a nationwide drive: replace tired, unproductive mango trees, establish fresh, sprawling orchards, and inject new energy into an industry that sustains countless families. This is not just business as usual. It is an audacious leap, unfolding with urgency and scale rarely seen in West Africa. Let us explore how this unlikely fruit is being wielded as a secret weapon for renewal.
What hangs in the balance is not only export profits or market share. It is about whether bold agricultural innovation, powered by vision, technology, and the will of the people, can break the cycle of poverty and restore hope. The world is watching to see if Burkina Faso's bet on the mango will pay off.
To understand the stakes, we must first see how mango farming became central to Burkina Faso's story, and why so much now rides on its revival.
Why would a landlocked country place its future in the hands of fruit growers? In Burkina Faso, this is not just a riddle. It is the foundation of a national wager. Mangoes, golden and fragrant, now stand at the heart of an ambitious movement led by President Ibrahim Traoray, a blueprint meant to reshape the countryside and change the fate of millions.
For tens of thousands of rural families, the mango is far more than a seasonal delicacy. It is their main cash crop, a lifeline for employment, and one of the country's most valued exports. Each harvest season, battered trucks rumble down dusty roads, jobs spring up in bustling packing sheds, and hopes rise in households from Bobo Dioulasso to distant hamlets. The earnings from mango sales pay for school fees, medical care, and help families build their futures. Yet this vital sector teeters on the edge. Many orchards are past their prime, with aging trees yielding fewer fruits every year. Pests like fruit flies invade, damaging both the bounty and its quality. And above it all, climate change hangs as a growing threat. Scorching droughts and erratic rains make every harvest uncertain. Without intervention, the collapse of mango farming could become a national emergency, erasing livelihoods and undermining economic progress. This is not the first time that a single crop has played a pivotal role in a nation's fortunes. Think of Ireland and its potatoes in the 19th century. When blight struck, the nation was thrown into famine and mass emigration. Or consider Ghana, where cocoa transformed the economy and built a path to independence. In each of these cases, a crop was not just a source of food or cash, but a symbol of hope, and sometimes a source of vulnerability. But the risks are immense. If this plan fails, entire communities could lose their primary source of cash, and the nation would see one of its best hopes for growth wither away. For a country striving for stability and independence, the stakes could not be higher. Yet planting new trees is only the first step. What does it truly take to transform a fragile crop into a pillar of national resilience? And who will lead the charge when the next crisis arrives? Determined to push back, the government has launched a sweeping rescue operation. Hundreds of thousands of improved seedlings are being delivered into farmers' hands, while old, unproductive trees are uprooted and replaced with hardier, higher-yielding varieties. The mission is bold: fortify mango farming to boost rural incomes, generate jobs, and expand exports,
making mangoes a symbol of renewal and pride.
Planting a tree is simple. Building a future, that takes vision and grit. As the first seedlings take root, the real test begins, not just for Burkina Faso's farmers, but for the systems and partnerships that must carry this promise forward. Can innovation and unity turn mangoes into the country's golden ticket? For generations, mango orchards have painted the fields of Burkina Faso with promise. Yet under this leafy canopy, a silent crisis is unfolding. Most mango trees are now over 30 years old, their strength fading with each passing season. As they age, their harvests dwindle. Pests, especially relentless fruit flies, swarm weakened trees, sometimes destroying entire crops in a single rampage.
Nature, once an ally, is shifting fast. The climate brings erratic rains and blistering heat, putting delicate mango blossoms at risk. A sudden drought or a violent storm can wipe out months of work overnight. For families who rely on every harvest, these blows are not just misfortunes, they threaten survival.
Let us step into a village near Bonfora, where an elderly farmer, Monsieur Wedriago, recalls planting his first mango tree as a child. That tree, decades old, now bears only a fraction of its former bounty. Where once his family harvested baskets overflowing with fruit, now they gather only a few bowls each year. The younger generation, seeing little hope, considers moving to the city.
But the climate is only half the battle. Many farmers do not have access to investment, modern equipment, or cutting-edge training. Few have irrigation. Pest control is often a desperate improvisation. Meanwhile, the world market grows more demanding. Buyers in Europe and beyond want perfect mangoes, rejecting any fruit that fails their exacting standards. Each blemished mango or missed shipment means lost income. This is bigger than fruit. It is about the future, about national pride, economic security, and the stability of rural life itself. In moments of real peril, true leadership rises. This is where President Traoray steps in, determined to face these challenges with a bold, collective vision. Consider the cautionary tale of Côte d'Ivoire's coffee sector in the late 20th century. Once a dominant exporter, the country saw its fortunes decline as trees aged and prices fell. Many smallholders, lacking support and investment, fell into poverty. Burkina Faso's leaders do not want to repeat these mistakes. He knows Burkina Faso cannot afford to stand still. Traoré is launching an ambitious plan to revive the orchards and transform the nation's mango industry. The risks are enormous. Without change, Burkina Faso could lose tens of thousands of jobs, not just on farms, but in packing houses and on transport routes. Rural families face losing their main cash crop, pushing more young people to abandon their villages. The nation could forfeit crucial export revenue, watching as neighbors like Ghana and Côte d'Ivoire race ahead. Mangoes are now pillars of the economy, standing tall beside gold and cotton. Their wealth flows outward, funding schools, clinics, and vital roads. In rural villages, the change is unmistakable. Families see hope, not just survival, sprouting from their orchards. By the year 2030, Burkina Faso stands as Africa's undisputed mango capital. Endless green orchards sweep across the land, and harvests, once at the mercy of drought and pests, have doubled or even tripled. This is not by chance. It is the result of bold planning, new drought-resistant trees, and technology in every field. Women and young people who used to leave home for uncertain jobs now find work in mango processing plants, cold storage hubs, and smart farming startups. For many, this is a first real shot at forging a future without leaving their communities behind. Picture a family in the outskirts of Ouagadougou, where once the father struggled to pay his children's school fees, now his orchard's improved yields cover tuition, medical bills, and even allow savings for the first time. His daughter, once resigned to leaving for the city, now leads a local cooperative that dries and packages mango slices for export to Europe and the Middle East. This mirrors the Green Belt movement in Kenya, where women's groups planted millions of trees to restore degraded land and create new sources of income. In Burkina Faso, the mango could fulfill a similar ecological promise. Nature is a partner in this story. Mango trees shield fields from erosion, soak up carbon, and lure back pollinators and birds. Whole landscapes grow tougher against droughts and floods, orchards acting as buffers against a shifting climate. For example, a small startup in Bobo Dioulasso, founded by 3 university graduates, now ships organic dried mangoes to gourmet shops in Paris. Their business, supported by government grants and local training, employs dozens of young people, many of whom would otherwise have migrated away. But Burkina Faso's ambitions reach beyond its borders. With bold investment in drying, juicing, and branding, the country's name now appears on mango products from Lagos to London. No longer only an exporter of raw fruit, Burkina Faso claims its place among leaders in high-value, finished mango goods, challenging old narratives about African agriculture. Yet vision alone is not enough. The true challenge lies ahead. What must happen, on the ground, to make these bold dreams a lasting reality? If this vision holds, millions could climb out of poverty. The mango boom could link city and country, inspire neighbors, and show the world a new model for sustainable growth, not fueled by aid, but by local ingenuity and leadership. To find that answer, we must look beyond the numbers and into the lives of the growers, the entrepreneurs, and the families risking it all. The next act reveals what it really takes to turn an ambitious plan into true prosperity. What does it mean for a nation to stake its destiny on a single fruit? Burkina Faso's all-in wager on mangoes is more than a farming story. It is a blueprint for leadership, investment, and lasting transformation. First, leadership sets the tone. President Ibrahim Traoray's presence is not symbolic. He is out in the orchards, shaking hands with farmers, inspecting nurseries, and speaking directly to communities. His commitment signals urgency and trust. For growers and workers, this is no hollow campaign. Every sapling and every job matters. The Mango Plan is a mission for the whole country. In recent months, Traoray has visited over a dozen provinces, attending planting ceremonies and listening to the concerns of local cooperatives. He has even appeared in televised broadcasts, sleeves rolled up, planting seedlings alongside school children. These gestures, while simple, have a profound effect. They build trust and signal seriousness. Take, for example, the rollout of solar-powered drip irrigation in the dry Sahel Belt. With this technology, even smallholders can water their young trees efficiently, reducing water waste and improving yields. Training sessions teach farmers how to prune for maximum sunlight and airflow, directly boosting fruit quality. Next, investment and technology are rewriting the rules. Burkina Faso is moving beyond the old days of depending on rainfall and outdated methods. The government introduces new irrigation systems, eco-friendly pest controls, and advanced orchard techniques. These changes turn mango farming from a gamble into a resilient, profitable industry. Farmers are better equipped to survive droughts and disease, and exports are climbing. Mangoes are no longer just a crop, they are a strategic asset. One standout example is the Association des Femmes de la Mangue, a women's cooperative in Koudougou. By pooling resources, providing childcare, and sharing knowledge, they have doubled their income and built a support network that extends far beyond the orchard. Their story inspires other villages to follow suit, further empowering women across the region. Yet machines and money alone will not transform a nation. Burkina Faso puts its faith in people, especially youth and women. Young adults are trained to manage orchards, operate processing plants, and oversee export logistics. Women lead cooperatives, run packing centers, and step into roles once close to them. This broad participation does more than share opportunity. It weaves hope and stability into the fabric of daily life. There is also a lesson about value. Instead of exporting raw fruit and importing expensive processed foods,
Burkina Faso invests in its own capacity, drying, juicing, and packaging mangoes at home. This keeps more profits inside the country. Rural families benefit, jobs are created, and communities strengthen as each harvest brings new possibilities.
Historically, countries that process their own goods rise faster. Look at Thailand's transformation from a rice exporter to a powerhouse of processed foods. Burkina Faso is now applying these lessons, launching pilot factories to turn mangoes into juices, jams, and snacks, destined for both domestic and foreign tables.
To ensure momentum, the government has launched a national monitoring platform. Farmers can report issues via text messages, extension workers track seedling survival rates, and export statistics are updated monthly. These practical steps make the plan transparent and accountable.
Real change happens on the ground. The government distributes millions of seedlings, organizes training for thousands of new growers, and builds partnerships between ministries, farmers, and traders. These are not empty promises. They are visible, trackable steps that push dreams into action. Progress is measured in trees planted, businesses opened, and lives improved.
But how did this bold plan begin, and can such rapid change really take root? The story of Burkina Faso's mango revolution starts with an unlikely moment of crisis.
The risks are high, and so are the rewards. If these lessons are applied carefully, any nation can find resilience, empower its people, and protect its environment, no matter the crop or region. Burkina Faso is drawing a map for renewal, showing what is possible, one mango at a time.
Will you ever see a mango the same way again? In Burkina Faso, this humble fruit has become something greater, a vivid emblem of what is possible, reaching far beyond its juicy flesh.
In 2022, a severe drought combined with an unprecedented fruit fly outbreak decimated the mango harvest. Exporters watched as contracts slipped away, and rural families faced a lean year. For many, this was a wake-up call. The old way would not suffice.
Within months, President Traoray convened an emergency summit, bringing together scientists, farmers, business leaders, and international partners. The outcome was a pledge: renew the nation's orchards, invest in innovation, and expand the value chain. The National Mango Plan was born out of this crucible, shaped by both desperation and hope.
Since then, progress has been steady. The Ministry of Agriculture has delivered nearly 400,000 seedlings, with plans to reach 1 million by the end of the decade. Training centers have sprung up in every region, offering workshops on pest control, marketing, and climate adaptation. Partnerships with universities and NGOs bring fresh expertise and global networks.
The risk? It is missing these quiet revolutions, overlooking fresh models of resilience in places the world too often forgets. Ignore them, and we may miss the chance to learn from or even shape the next wave of agricultural transformation in emerging markets.
Under President Ibrahim Traoray's daring leadership, Burkina Faso is not sitting back or begging for rescue. Instead, the nation is breathing new life into ancient orchards, training a new wave of young farmers, and building a future with mango at its very core. This is a bold rewrite of what agricultural strength can mean in West Africa.
But this story is not only about farming. It is about seizing control of destiny, about planting not just for the next harvest, but for hope, dignity, and true independence. Every mango seedling pressed into Burkinabe earth now marks a family's shot at stability, a young person's hope for work, and a nation's stolen pride reclaimed.
So, when you next bite into a mango, consider what dreams, what risks, what futures might be ripening beneath its skin. The story of Burkina Faso's mango is not just their own. It is a call to recognize renewal wherever it takes root, and to wonder, wherever we stand, how we might join in such change.
In Burkina Faso, the mango is more than a fruit. It is a promise that with unity, vision, and perseverance, a nation can transform its future, one orchard at a time. The lessons here are universal. For any country seeking to break free from cycles of poverty, the path may begin with a single seed, a bold leader, and a population willing to stake its hopes on the land. The journey is long, but with careful planning, community spirit, and true investment in people, even the humblest fruit can become a force for national renewal.